Hey you guys, welcome back and I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is gonna be about how I shop my foundations. This is mainly gonna be about me shopping my foundations online, but I'm still gonna mention a few things you might wanna keep in consideration when you're shopping it for offline. Once again, please try to ignore any sort of flaw that you can find in the setup. I'm trying to film 2 videos today and it's already pretty late, so yes, I have to get through this quickly. And yeah, I think that is all I have to say. So yeah, let's get started with the main part of the video. So I think there are 4 to 5 different things that you want to keep in mind while shopping for a foundation. Now your skin tone and your undertone is a whole different thing, and I will try to leave a timestamp for where I start talking about skin tone. So maybe if you are just here for the skin tone section, then you might want to skip to that part. So I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description bar below, so yeah, check that out if you want to. So the first thing you want to keep in mind while shopping for a foundation, if this is your first foundation, I feel like you should think about your skin type and the type of coverage you want. Now ideally you would know your skin types. Okay, hi, I know I said ideally, but if you don't know your skin type, that is perfectly fine, and it is really simple to find out what skin type of a person you are. So what you want to do is wash your face, and then maybe you can do this before going to sleep. Wash your face before going to bed and do not put on any sort of moisturizer or any sort of product on it, and just sleep. And after you wake up, just see how your skin feels. So if it looks like your skin is really shiny, if you can see and feel oil on your face, then there is a high chance that you are a person with oily skin type. And if you wake up and see that you don't have any sort of oil on your face, your skin just looks dry, matte, nothing, absolutely nothing, then you are a dry skin person. And if you just see oil in certain areas of your face, then you probably have combination skin. Now I did say in the video that combination and normal skin types can be used interchangeably. I do not know if that is the case when you talk about your skin and skincare, but for makeup I'm just using it as a term that lies between dry and oily. So yeah, don't quote me on that. The context for my statement is makeup. So yeah, that is it. Let's get back to the video. So that would be dry, normal or oily. So ideally how the theory goes is for drier skin type people, they will choose a foundation that is more dewy. For oily skin people, they will choose foundations that are more matte. And usually for normal and combination skin types, you can lean on either side. So if you're that skin type, you have a less of a worry in that case. But I personally don't think you have to follow this. You can be a dry person and still choose to use a matte foundation. While as I don't think the same theory will apply for the people with oily skin and who want a more dewy looking foundation. I don't think the same theory will apply. But for dry skin people, I feel like if you moisturize well enough, if you moisturize really well, you will be able to use matte foundations as well. And I'm saying that as a person who has dry skin and who chooses matte foundations generally. The reason for my choice is that I live in a really humid environment and I sweat a lot, and after a while my foundation does end up looking a little more dewy than matte if I'm wearing it. The only issue I find with matte foundations for dry skin is when you are applying it. If you haven't done your skincare routine in a proper manner, then maybe it will be an issue while you're blending the foundation into your skin. So that is something you want to consider. For me, I don't choose dewy foundations because first of all, I can get the dewiness by using a setting spray. And second thing is that because the weather is so humid around me, my foundation just tends to melt and I sweat a lot. So dewiness and then my sweat, it's not an ideal situation for me. So that is the reason I choose more matte foundations. And when I use matte foundation, it usually happens to be the case that I don't have to set the foundation. So that is something I prefer. The less powder on my face, the more happy I am. I don't like looking exceptionally dewy either, but I still like my foundation to look a little bit more natural, a little bit more dewy than a matte finish. So yeah, basically if you moisturize well, I feel like you will be fine with any sort of finish in your foundation. If you're a dry skin person, if you're an oily skin person, try to go for matte foundations. And then maybe you can use your setting spray to add some more dewiness. For dry skin, I feel like you have a little bit more options than you think. And for normal skin people, I feel like you can choose it either way depending on where your skin lies. Either it's a little bit more dry or if it's a little bit more oily. So that was depending on your skin type. The next thing I feel like would be relevant is the type of coverage you want. So there are light, medium and high coverage. This is just how I'm saying it precisely. Obviously there are foundations that are more medium to high coverage, light to medium, and you can build things up. Yeah, now this entirely depends on what you like for yourself. If you like more natural finish, if you like more medium coverage, or if you are a high coverage kind of a person, the one I usually like to go for is high coverage foundations. One of the biggest reasons being I don't wear foundations on my entire face. I usually wear it in the centers of my face, so that way I can use my foundation as a concealer basically, and that is why I like my foundations to be more high coverage. You can obviously opt for more medium and more low coverage foundations, but I personally For myself, I feel like high coverage foundations do a lot more, and obviously you can add some moisturizer to your high coverage foundation and make it even less in coverage. So yeah, I feel like high coverage foundation is something that covers all those categories. So if you're a person who wants to buy just one foundation, I feel like go for high coverage. You can wear it on a lot more occasions than the other two, and I feel like that would be just better overall. And now let's move on to the skin tone and skin undertone type of a thing. So first of all, the first thing you want to do is identify your undertone. It can be done in a few different ways. My suggestion is look at your wrist. So I will try to insert a chart right now which will help you guys understand, and obviously you can find these images on Google. So yeah, so if you have more of purple and blue kind of veins on your wrist, then it is highly likely that you are a cool toned person. If you have blue and green, then you are more of a neutral, and if you have more green or olive sort of veins, then you are a warm toned person. And the other way that you can find this is by taking jewelry and seeing which jewelry suits you more, if it's gold, if it's silver, or if it's both. If it's silver, you have more cooler undertones. If it's gold, then you have more warm undertones, and if you suit both, then you are more of a neutral toned person. Again, these are very precise, but in real life things are not as precise, and you can lie somewhere in between cool and neutral, and you can lie somewhere in between warm and neutral. So maybe you can be neutral but you lean more on the warm side, or maybe you can lean on the pink side. And after you find your skin tone, my first suggestion to choosing a foundation would be, first, if you can go in store and try it out. Go in store, ask the person on the counter to match you, and in general they do match pretty well. My suggestion on where you want to match yourself is to the neck, so that you actually don't have to cover your neck, and then when you apply foundation to your face, then your neck and your face will be of the same color. And my other suggestion would be, if possible, try to go in a MAC store and ask them to find your MAC shade. Even if you aren't purchasing the foundation, they will try and match your shade. It might be a little awkward, but try to go through it. My overall experience was that the people at the counter were really sweet, and they found my concealer shade, my foundation shade, my everything shade, and then you can put your MAC shade or your any kind of other shade into a website called Foundation. It's basically a foundation matrix. You can put in your MAC foundation shade, and then you can get your foundation shade in other brands. That is something I've been using for a while, and if I have to guess my foundation shade, I usually go to that website. I will say that it's not accurate to the dot, but it can definitely give you a better range as to what you wanna choose for yourself. There are multiple other websites. I will try to link all these websites in the description bar below. The other thing that you wanna do is try and see people or bloggers or YouTubers who are similar to your skin tone. So for my skin tone, I will try to link the YouTubers in the description. I do not want to say their name solely because I know I'll butcher it, and I don't wanna butcher anyone's name. So yeah, I'll try to link all the people that I usually go through. Now, these aren't accurate or exact matches for my skin tone, but at least these people are somewhere around my skin tone. So maybe person A is a little lighter, so I know that I have to go one shade above that person when I'm choosing my foundation. So also, don't just stick to YouTubers. There are so many people on Instagram that you will definitely find someone who is more similar to your skin tone. So try and explore, see how things work, and I'm sure you'll find someone who is of an exact or very similar skin tone to yourself. And another way of finding a foundation through your MAC shade is, there is a Instagram page called Best Beauty Deals India. They have made these certain posts. So maybe for my skin tone, they have written a post of NC43 and NC44 people, please comment down your foundation shade. So that way the entire post, like the Instagram post, in the comment section you will find a lot of foundation shades that are of the exact shade as your MAC shade, because these are coming from actual people who are of the same skin tone, so it's kind of more trustable. So yeah, I will leave a link to that post and that page as well in the description. That is one of the ways that I feel like it's really helpful. That way you can also find people who are of a similar skin tone to you. This can also be helpful to find what lipstick suits you, your nude lipstick shades. Just follow them, and that way you'll find someone who is of a similar skin tone. Now, if you don't have your MAC shade, or if you don't have anything, then you should be able to guess it by looking at certain pictures. MAC on their website has this whole quiz about finding your skin tone. Try to take that, and it will at least give you a similar idea of what skin tone you lie in if you don't have an exact match. If it is possible for you guys to get an exact match, do that. That would be the best way possible. But if you can't, then try to take that quiz. You will definitely find a good range for yourself. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, try to see the reviews of foundations you're wanting beforehand, before going ahead and picking it up directly. The salesperson is obviously gonna try and sell things to you. Don't just fall into it. Research for yourself, see what kind of finish, see what kind of skin type, see what kind of skin color, then go online or then go in stores and then pick things for yourself up. So yeah, I think those are all the things I feel like anyone should keep in mind while buying a foundation, specifically online. And I hope that these tips help you guys in finding your own perfect foundation. And yeah, I think that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave in the comment section down below if you have any sort of queries. I would love to answer them. Also leave video requests if you have any. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.